What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Big Brother, Season 16, Episode 18 for August. Wow, we're in August now, aren't we? For August 3rd?
Yes.
2014? Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it. I'm your host, Dom. With me, I have my co-host, Erika.
This podcast is rated TVMA.
It is.
Yes.
And my co-host, Luke, who just disappeared.
I'm back.
Oh, and he's back. Your camera's off.
Okay, let me turn it back on. Were we before my internet fucked up?
Yes. And
We just
Luke.
started.
Welcome to Big Brother. I do apologize for the bad quality of disappearing like that, but my internet is not a piece of shit, but it fucks up sometimes.
These things happen.
They do.
They do, indeed. So, what did you guys think of last night's episode?
I actually thought it was a pretty neat competition. I mean, I like the, what do they call those things? A checker chain or something?
Dominoes.
Dominoes chain. I like the dominoes chains. I used to play those when I was a kid, so it was pretty cool, except all along the way, even if you win, you kind of lose too, because now you have to suffer punishments like I believe it was slop for 2 weeks, and head shaving and Adam and Eve.
Yes, those are the ones that were picked. Some of the other ones that were on the board were what?
I forget.
I don't even remember now.
Yeah,
there's no head of household. That was
no
one.
head of household. They couldn't be head of household.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I forget the other punishments. Those are the only ones I could remember in the gold boxes. But now I think it was. You know what? And another thing I want to point out that was off the Battle of the Block competition was, oh my God, Amber's not out of the house, not even a day, and already he's going after Nicole's friend, Caleb. Beast Mode Cowboy is a womanizer.
Oh, cue Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or don't, because we don't want this content ID flagged.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Mr.
Womanizer,
St. Louis
womanizer,
Cardinals.
oh, you're a womanizer, you are, you
Oh God,
are.
don't sing that song. Let's stay on the topic of the game, please.
We are. We're talking about
We're
Caleb,
talking
the
about a
womanizer.
womanizer.
Yeah, a womanizer. Beast Mode Cowboy, why can't he be gay? He's hot.
He is.
But I'm glad. You know what? I'm so happy that that Caleb and Victoria won. Although, I mean, they have to suffer the consequences. I'd rather have that than be on the chopping block.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Miss Erika.
Yeah.
Aren't you? I already spoke. I want to hear your opinions.
I thought this episode was really funny this time. I was kind of wondering where they were going to go with the whole. It's the first week that the not a bomb squad member has won.
Right.
So it's like it's kind of interesting to see where they would go.
I was nervous about that. I was really nervous.
I liked that whole. The first idea they threw out was like, I knew they wouldn't go for it, but it was like, there's only been 3 people that haven't ever been on the block before.
Mm-hmm.
We got to put up 4, but then it turned out 2 of them were his allies, so it's like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know something? That's the point. It doesn't matter what alliance you are in. I mean, yes, you have to rely on people as long as to keep your safety with your own game. But in the end, only one person is going to win the $500,000.
I'll say one thing I don't really like, and I'm starting to see it now, is, Team America, they've been working together as like a real alliance. Like,
yeah, they
actually
have.
got each other's backs. But now it's like, I don't think Donnie actually sees that those other 2 guys are kind of helping him and protecting him. And he's kind of like wanting to turn on them because he don't think that's a real alliance.
Right.
It
almost seemed as if when Donnie broke the... I can't say broke, but when Donnie refused to participate in last week's Team America mission, that the alliances had some cracks in the faults.
Yeah, and it's like when they were sitting in that room, he's like, he cost us $10,000. Him refusing to vote that way
Yep.
cost me 5,000. It cost you 5,000.
Yep.
And for what? It didn't change anything.
Well, yeah, but plus, his final reason for not wanting to accomplish this mission with Team America was because he said this could endanger my game, and I didn't travel halfway across the country for nothing.
Which is completely fair. I respect that. I do.
Yeah, I respect that
but
opinion.
at the same time, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? Anonymous vote.
Yeah.
So they can't prove that Donnie was the one that voted against the House.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, but it doesn't mean that Donnie's in danger. You know something?
Right.
I think, you know something? Donnie made a pretty big decision by nominating Caleb, and now next week, Caleb may be going after him.
Now, I must say, Donnie's speech, I think, for nominations was probably the best speech thus far.
I think it was. It was fair and square. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Erika?
you know, Victoria, I'm putting you up because so many people have put you up, and I feel like the blood is diluted on my hands. I was like,
I like that.
That was great. Yeah. Like, great statement. And then the way he, like, attacked Caleb, but did it in a way where he's, like, making it even. He goes, you were the first one to put me on the block. I am the first one to put you on the block. We are now even.
And I think that is the first time in prime.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's the first time in primetime broadcast, at least in a while, that they've actually said the word tit and not have it censored out.
Right.
Tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. But I think that I don't think that it was so much of an attack on Caleb. I think he was just saying, you know, he was being honest. You know, now we're fair and square.
Yeah, no.
Now we're both even.
But it's still like it's a malicious act, but he's doing it in a way where there's still no blood on his hands. Like he probably that was the best nomination he could have chosen, and probably the best one that has been done all year.
I think it is pretty much so. I mean, but in all honesty, when do you think Donnie's going to start to become a target? Because I've never said the last older person around in their early 40s that has ever won Big Brother was Evil Dick. So when do you think that somebody's going to...
Hold on to that thought for 1 second. Speaking of Evil Dick, Nicole's speech to Zach.
Yeah. Yes, I love that.
That was great.
I got to hear it.
That was great. Erika remembers it better than I do.
Erika.
Yeah, it's like... You know, you referenced the Big Brother diary last time, or dictionary last time, and so I decided to look in the Big Brother dictionary under the word supervillain, and all I saw was a picture of Evil Dick. You were too nice and naive to ever be a supervillain.
No,
that
made me laugh. And
he just got owned.
You have to, like, she was concerned about it. Like, you see, she was nervous about her speech afterwards. She's like, did I say supervillain or villain? Like, she was already nervous there.
She was asking Christine, but
and then she said, did it come off as an insult? And she goes, because I don't think it would be for anybody else, but it does for him. And Derek was like, no, that totally was an insult.
Oh, yeah.
Although it was kind of... I know she's probably on the spot and really nervous, so she didn't think about it. But she kind of forgot Chilltown in the whole thing, too.
Yeah.
They were pretty much supervillains.
They were.
But, yeah, Evil Dick is pretty much the supervillain.
Yeah, everybody knows Evil Dick is the villain. Like
he was the villain, and he was the supervillain to win Big Brother 8.
Exactly.
Right.
Alongside next to his daughter.
So, Luke, what was that statement I told you to hold on to? Do you remember?
Statement about Evil Dick.
You had mentioned Evil Dick, and then I brought us on a side tangent.
You said it was the oldest person to ever win, or something like that.
Yes, but when do you think they're gonna eventually make Donnie a target?
There we go.
Final 5.
I think they're realizing now Donnie is a huge threat, and his nominations were Victoria and Caleb. So I don't know if the detonators really see him as a threat right now, because they know that his 2 targets are those people.
Right.
I don't see him ever putting Frankie up or Derek unless he absolutely had to. I could see him backdooring them, but I don't see him putting them up for nominations.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know when, because this is Team America. This was something that was created by the production of Big Brother. So
Right.
we don't know when they're gonna. Is it? I don't know if it's their decision to split this alliance or if they could do it on their own.
Yeah, I'm sure they could do it on their own. They're going to keep giving them missions, so they're not.
They just stop refusing missions, and that'd be the end of it.
Right. So,
Yeah.
in terms of Team America, I believe that Donnie is fairly safe, and I say fairly loosely because we have Frankie and Derek who both trust Donnie because of this alliance and know that he's kind of like in their back pocket, so to speak, that if they had to, they could probably convince him to do something. But when push comes to shove, they've realized now that if he does not want to do something, he's not going to do it if it's going to jeopardize his game. So,
Right.
In those terms, I could see them voting him out sooner than later.
Erika?
I don't expect to see Team America in the final three. That's for sure.
Neither
Right.
do I. Yeah, I mean that would be. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it did, I would possibly shit a brick.
If Team America makes it to the final three, I wonder what their mission is that week.
That's what I would like to know. Put the mission on each other, because who else are they gonna mission? Who else are they gonna? What are they gonna accomplish with just the three of them?
Yeah.
Which I doubt that's gonna happen
Well,
because
if they're final three, that means they're on the finale episode, so they wouldn't really have a mission.
exactly. I mean, so what would be the point of having Team America, the X Team America? I think that would be known as.
It'd still be Team America. They just wouldn't.
It'd be
have a mission.
funny if Julie just come up with they come up with a weird mission, like just gave it to him on the spot.
They could do
Like,
something
okay.
like eat this disgusting thing and get your money.
I could see them doing something as gross as that. I remember on Big Brother All Stars, I think there was a vomiting incident where I think it wasn't Chicken George, it was Mike Boogie. Yeah, it was a slop competition. He just kept eating and eating the slop and then bleh.
Yeah, that usually happens anytime that they have those. I'm sure one of our next competitions we're gonna see is gonna be something along the lines of a mixture of food competition where what did they do? Like, what did they did ice cream last year?
Last year
yeah,
it was
the
froyo.
random
It was
food.
that spicy froyo and
Yeah,
like put on
the
the pounds.
jalapeno yogurt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like for the pounds. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
they had to
there
weigh
was that, but then they always put something in a blender. They have shots and like mixed of like chicken tortillas and hot sauce and like all random stuff, So
Do you think you would be able to accomplish that?
I wouldn't. No, I don't do well with food that I don't like. So-
Yeah, it could be.
I would straight up just refuse that competition.
Remember
That's
that?
just
Remember
me.
that in the dark veto competition last year, where they're reaching around in all that gloopy mess to try to find the veto,
That was
and
cool.
Andy found it.
I like that.
I liked that too. Do you think we're due for one of those by the end of the season?
I could see it in a Battle of the Block competition, maybe.
I could too. Or my favorite competition last year, I think it was a veto competition. Yeah, the portrait competition where they had to bounce on that trampoline to look over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That was last year.
I would like to see the Battle of the Block competition in the dark, the same thing, but they're in two separate rooms attached on a cord.
Right.
And they have to like search the room, and they can only do it because like depending on where the person is, because the cord's only so long.
Oh, they do that competition again?
In the dark, I would like to see it, but for a
They
Battle
did
of the
that
Block
last year,
competition,
didn't they?
They did it as a group.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I'd like to
Alright.
see it as a Battle of the Block, and it was all of them in one room. I mean, change it up by putting two separate rooms in the dark attached to a string so they can only go a certain length.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be so cool. If I was on the production team, I would recommend that. I really would.
Yeah.
What else is there that we haven't touched base on?
Zanky.
Zenki, well, let's just say, if Zach is evicted on Thursday, Julie is probably going to put him on the spot saying, okay, do you, like Zanky, how do you refer to that? You claim to be straight. But yeah, you are doing stuff that only a gay man would do, such as cuddling with Frankie, talking about having celebratory intercourse with Frankie. And are you joking or are you serious? Like she's probably gonna put him on the spot. And you know something? I would love to see that.
What if this is all just an elaborate plan for Zach to like get further in the game because he knows that Frankie, maybe he knows who Frankie is.
You know, I never thought of that. You know, that could be for real. But you know something? Frankie is not as, it's not like he's so attached to Zach. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't really see like, you know, because he said in that episode, he goes, okay, Zach claims to be straight, and he tells me that, but he's always running a rub on the back in bed at night. I mean, Zach, actions speak louder than words, so you're the one who's making the move, not me.
Right.
Yeah, so are you going to make a move or not? You know, actions speak louder than words. And
celebratory intercourse.
Yeah, so I mean, prove it. Like, he's basically saying prove it. You want to prove to me that you're either straight or gay.
Yeah.
Prove to me you're straight by giving me the worst sex I've ever had.
That would be so epic. I would feel so bad for Frankie. I would feel so bad for Frankie if that ever happened. You know, I'd like to see Frankie make it further in this game. I'm not. I mean, even though you know, I kind of want him gone, but you know, I like to see him get further in this game to see, you know, to make his sister proud and to make his grandfather proud.
What do you think of Nicole's plans to potentially backdoor Frankie? Do you think this is a smart move on her part?
Well, judging from the spoilers that I'm not going to say, I don't think it fell through very well, because judging by rumors going on the website that Christine is playing a dirty game.
Yeah, but I just mean the whole concept of her getting rid of Frankie.
I don't know. I think they're relying too much on the backdoor this year.
They are. They're relying heavily on the backdoor.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen the backdoor being played out more this year than last year. I mean, usually they wouldn't plan to backdoor somebody who they wanted to be voted out. They would initially put on the chopping block and see if they would win the power of veto.
Yeah, they're just so scared about that battle of the block this year, and that they have two options instead of one to get off, that they're just scared.
Yeah.
But then when this twist is over, the battle of the block twist, when it goes back to the regular one HOH that is safe for the week, I think that's when they're going to potentially stop doing the whole backdoor concept and just start nominating who they want.
I think Frankie wants Zach to backdoor him.
Why?
Well, they did talk about celebratory intercourse.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Well, yeah,
but
what does that do with him wanting to backdoor? That makes no sense. Like, why would Frankie want to be backdoored? I mean,
well, I mean, Frankie might be the pitcher. I don't know.
Like, it makes no sense. I'm like, why do you want to get further in this game? So why are you basically being forced to put yourself up on the chopping block?
Not that backdoor. The other backdoor.
Oh, the other way around. Oh, okay.
The poop chute.
Yeah.
That backdoor.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just put it in layman's terms: the mangina.
No.
Yes.
No, the back door.
The back. Well, you know something? If they did, you'd have to watch the After Dark episodes because those are raw and uncensored. But you know something?
This is true.
I'd like to see what's going to happen. You know something? It gets confusing because Nicole referred to, Zach, Frankie as Zach's best friend. Like, okay, like, I'm confused. I'm like, are they in a showmance? Are they best friends? Is it a bromance?
Well,
it's in a complicated type thing.
Well, all right. So speaking of Zach, we had a viewer ask a question on one of our previous videos, and I'm gonna share that with everybody right now. And I just scrolled over it. I can't see the framing there. From Reb1959 says, Luke, get a sense of humor. Very few people do not like Zach.
Well, I respect your opinion, but, my opinion is I'm not a big fan of Zach. I just think he's an arrogant person, and I just don't go for arrogant people. I don't like arrogant people. I mean, but I respect your opinion, but don't judge me based on my opinion.
Fair enough. I'm an arrogant person.
I have nothing against the person's comment or anything like that. I respect that, but I'm entitled to my own opinion.
I'm pretty sure Luke would hate me in the house. Luke would be watching me, and he'd be like, Dom is so cocky. He's the cockiest person that I know. I can't stand him. Get him out of the house.
I
would be Zach times 100.
Yeah, but you know something? If I were HOH personally, Dom, you're my friend, so I know you personally outside the Big Brother house. So I think, you know something? I think I would take you to the end and let you win over me.
Wow. You think I'd get the votes over you?
I'd rather be the runner-up and watch my friend win the game because I know you. But there's a big difference though, because I know you personally outside the Big Brother house.
Mm.
And I know you haven't disrespected me. You've been nothing but a good friend to me.
There we go. I'm saying if you were watching from home, and you weren't participating, you'd be like, "Is Dom out of the house yet? That guy is so cocky. Get him off my TV."
No, I would enjoy watching you cause trouble.
I'd be across between.
I want to see Dom make it to the end. I want to see him bring home that $500,000 grand prize.
I would be a cross between Zach and Evil Dick, like hands down. That would be me.
I say with Dom, it would be more like it'd be one of those guys where it's like you really hate seeing them in the house, and you just cannot wait to see them go. Within the second they're out of the house, the entire show just falls flat and it's boring the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know something? Another viewer that's a friend of mine that watches Big Brother also, he said he got bored with the show already.
Really?
Which are like, yeah, that was my response to him. Like, really? You're getting bored? It's entertaining.
I think the beginning was boring. I think it's ramped up a little bit now, but I have a feeling if a few key people go, Zach, Frankie, to name two, I think the show will start getting extremely boring.
Well, yeah, but then it'll start getting more tense when people start really battling it out. And beg your pardon.
I really want to see what happens after this week.
Yeah,
because we got Zach probably going to go home, like 80% chance Zach's going to go home.
Yeah, and then Dom is going to be so upset on our next podcast if Zach is going, because you know why? Because Dom's target is Joe Costa.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What
don't you like about her though, Dom? Why do you want her out of the house so bad? I want to hear your opinion.
See, this sounds so wrong because it's not really the case, but okay, she's way too religious for me, and I don't like being force-fed religion. I don't mind if people follow religion and have their religion, but I can't stand people that are, praise be this, thank you, Lord, this, thank you, Lord, that, bless you, Lord, this, I'm going to pray for you, this. It irks me. That is like a pet peeve of mine.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a Christian just like her, but I don't go around doing what she does. You know, I don't go, oh, praise God, thank you, Jesus. I'm not like a Bible beater.
Right, and I understand to a degree she's not either, and she's not constantly, like, I know she's not walking around the house 24/7 throwing it in everybody's face, but that is the way she's presented on TV right now.
Yeah.
And that is sole reason. If I was in the house, it probably would be a different story, to be completely honest.
Is it just, this might be like a really hot button issue maybe, but is it just the Christianity aspect, or is it like any religion?
It's any religion.
Because there was one guy on Big Brother Canada. He was one of the most well-liked house guests, but he was a Muslim, and he had to do the whole prayer 5 times a day thing.
Well, that's different.
And they featured him like all the time.
That's different. That is part of their religion. He's not forcing that upon anybody else. He's going privately and doing that.
Right.
He's not like getting the whole house. I'm not like Joe Costa isn't doing that either. She's not getting the whole house together to pray, but he's like going off and doing that privately. And if they're showing that on TV and that's private, it's one thing. But I don't like organized religion in general.
Yeah.
It's just it's a pet peeve of mine. So it doesn't matter if she was Christian, if she was atheist. But if she's preaching whatever she believes verbally, or he, she, whoever, and this has happened every season that they have somebody on like this, I don't feel comfortable around people that feel the need to force their religion onto other people. And I feel that by doing that, they are forcing it. That's my opinion.
Wait, Dom, what about where she was speaking in tongues? How did that grip you?
Get her out.
Like if you, let me ask you this, Dom, personally, and I'm going to ask Erika the same thing. During that Battle of the Block competition, and one of yous were paired up with Joe Costa, now I want to hear both opinions. If you were paired up with Joe Costa, and if you won with alongside her, Dom, and if you were on the block with her, you both won Battle of the Block and dethroned whoever put them up, then if she started hugging you and started speaking so fast in tongues, I mean, what would you say either to her face or in the diary room?
I would not allow her to win the competition because I would throw it in hopes that she left the house.
Okay, okay, good. I respect your opinion, Erika.
I don't know, that particular segment, made me really uncomfortable
So,
because I grew up in that kind of church environment where people did that a lot,
Right.
and it was always like super tense, and you didn't really know what was going on when these people started doing it, and so that just kind of puts me off on the edge of remembering bad childhood memories type thing.
Right.
right.
Like I said,
right.
I personally, I'm not into the religion thing. Like, if that's your thing, so be it. More power to you. I respect that. I respect whatever
Right.
religious choices you believe. I just don't like them forced on me. I don't like them shoved down my throat.
Hey, you know
So when it's
something? I don't
on the
think-
TV and that she's constantly doing that, I feel it's forced down my throat.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like, I don't want to start controversy there, whatever.
Okay,
That's just
well,
my
let me ask
opinion
you
on
then.
it.
I
If,
understand.
if she was sitting there, like, in the house and she's off reading the Bible by herself, and, like, Caleb, he wanted to quote the Bible at one point, that's fine. Like, that was a one-time thing that they showed. He could read the Bible every night for all I know, and that's fine, but they're not shoving it down our throats, so...
You know who was a religious house guest? Big Brother 10 winner Dan Giesling, and from Big Brother 14 as well. So, you know what? He was religious, but, he didn't go around rubbing it in everybody's face.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was even though he was Catholic, still, I mean, he did have some religiousness in the house. Remember the Big Brother funeral?
Yeah, he is the one who held his own funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he held his own Big Brother funeral, and surprisingly, everybody got emotional. I mean, he really pulled them in.
Yeah. No, that was I remember that. That was a pretty good scene or whatever.
And Danielle's face when he said, "You're basically dead to me in this game," she was like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck did I do?
She's like, awkward.
Yeah, she goes, but then he pulled her into the game room, and she's like, "You could have at least warned me."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, no, I needed that reaction.
Yeah, it needed to be real, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, in terms of religion, you believe it, just keep it to yourself. That's my opinion.
Okay, no, nobody's pushing it on you. None of us are doing it, Dom.
I'm just trying to not
He
soil...
just hates Jocasta, that's why.
I'm just trying not to soil any bad blood here.
Okay,
So.
well then when Jocasta's evicted, then why don't you have some balloons in the back of you?
I'm not going to celebrate. That's not what it's about. I don't want to see it anymore. That's all. I just want her out for that reason. It's not like I'm going to start jumping up and down for joy when she leaves, because I'm not going to be happy that she left. I'm going to be happy it's not in my face anymore.
Erika, who do you want? Who do you not want to see anymore in the Big Brother house? Like, who do you want gone personally?
That's... To be honest, I'd like to see Victoria gone, just because she's kind of dead weight.
She keeps hanging on a thread when you think that she's going to go home.
She doesn't.
And it's like...
There's
the
a certain point. Yeah, there's a certain point where you just want to get rid of the people that aren't really doing anything.
Exactly. I mean, she's the princess, basically.
Let me go ahead and pull this up now, live on there.
She's the self-proclaimed princess. I've not heard one person in the house call her a princess. I only hear herself calling herself princess.
Yeah, and nobody and other people are calling Caleb Beast Mode Cowboy.
Yeah, I mean that is a nickname he gave himself, but other people are calling him that. Not one person in the house has referred to Victoria as a princess.
Right.
Yeah, look at the activity tracker. Victoria come in dead last.
Of course.
Naturally.
I'm sure Caleb's not far behind. Like, Caleb seems to sleep all day long.
Yeah, and you know something? There's something that I forgot to point out, getting back to last night's episode during Zanky. But when they were in bed cuddling and talking about the celebratory intercourse, Cody overheard them.
Yeah.
So we didn't point that out. What do you think Cody's thinking?
He's probably tired of hearing it.
I'm sure he is. Did you see him roll his eyes?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Like,
do you think that could refer to homophobia coming from him?
No, it's not. It's not homophobia. It's more get a room type thing. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's just like, hurry up and get it over with already.
It's like, just get it over with, you know.
And he was the first one to notice them cuddling. He on a couple of nights into the show, he goes, I think Frankie and Zach are about to have a showmance because I mean, they were cuddling like all night, and I thought they were gonna start making out.
Mm.
Like he's got that radar,
That gaydar.
the gaydar, yeah. But you know something, we're gonna find out if Zach is evicted on Thursday. We're gonna hear the truth.
Indeed we will. Indeed we will.
Anything else we haven't touched base on?
I think we covered everything. Did we miss anything, Erica?
Miss Rain.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was after looking at this activity tracker, it really caught me off guard that Joe Costa is actually in the number 1 position today.
Really?
Wow.
That's interesting.
5.56 miles walked, 33 active minutes.
Wow.
Which is like twice what everybody else has.
Do you guys feel like this activity tracker is something that we're going to see every year from now on?
Probably not.
Probably
It's
not,
just-
but it's a possibility because it's something new. So I think they're testing it out to see if it works, and if it works, they may use it next year.
It really just depends on what their point is. I mean, right now it's just kind of a funny little thing. It's not really got any purpose.
Yeah, but it's information for the people at home to track. I think it's something that we'll probably see from here on out.
How much does it cost to join the live feeds?
I think it's like $20, something around that.
Oh,
Man,
I guess
let me
I'll
click
take
the
that
button
maybe
here.
for the next month. I mean, I think you have to have a personal CBS account, so I'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
$9.99 a month.
And then that'll stop when the show stops.
They stop it when the show's over.
Yeah, so that's what?
It used to not stop. They used to keep it going year round, but then when CBS took it over, they stop it when the show stops.
Yeah, so that's what,
Okay,
about $20-$30 max?
Yeah, if you sign up before the season starts, they sell it discounted for $20 for the entire season.
Okay, that's what it is.
Otherwise, it's like $30.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, like, just looking at the cast members and stuff like that, there was the initial, like, the first couple weeks of the show were not interesting to me. I actually didn't like any of the cast, and they started growing on me. Like, Donnie, I love Donnie. Like, he was instantly somebody I enjoyed. Frankie, I wasn't too sure when they first showed Frankie, and now I can't imagine this season without him.
Yeah.
Caleb is quickly becoming a favorite for me in the house. I know Erika mentioned this last week as well, but I kind of feel lost without Caleb. I think he's playing a little bit of a better game now that Amber's out of the house.
I feel sad that he left, if he does leave.
Yeah. Zach, I love Zach. Zach is probably the best thing that has happened to this house because of all the drama.
Since Amanda.
No, I didn't like Amanda. Amanda wasn't like... She was malicious to be malicious. Like, there was no... Like, she was self-serving herself. Zach is funny about it. He's not Amanda at all.
And he created 3 new words. 2 words. Fruit Loop Dingus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we end this?
One final thought.
Who
will win the power of veto, and will it be used to save either Zach or Jocasta from the chopping block? It all happens Wednesday at 8/7 Central on Big Brother.
Indeed it does. Indeed it does. Erika, final thoughts?
Yawn.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Erika, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at ErikaRain7.
Excellent. Luke, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at Zupa23.
Excellent, excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. Also, if you sign up for Audible, you get a free audiobook and a 30-day trial if you use the URL www.offers.gb.com/SHB lowercase p.
Yay.
Do it. There are many books that you can get free. The free audiobook is one of your choice too, right? It's any book.
Yeah, it's any book they have.
So it's not like you get stuck with like one or two like
It's not like pick one of these 6.
Yeah, it's not like
pick
that
one
at
of
all.
these 600,000.
Yeah. So, like I said, my favorite audiobook, Where's Waldo?
What's that?
Narrated by Christopher Walken.
Narrated by Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah. So you can find us all on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and right here on YouTube /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. We'll be covering a few movies and stuff coming up. Guardians of the Galaxy will be one of them.
Hell yeah.
So, yes. So stay tuned. And until Wednesday, I guess Wednesday, we will see you guys later.
From outside the Big Brother house, I'm Luke. Good night.
Womanizer, womanizer, you,
Or a woman eater.
Oh.
Yeah, because remember, McRae said last year about Amanda doing their first romance. He's like, she is a man eater. This woman.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. Well, my two darlings, I must hit the road.